Kendrick Lamar and Nike are dropping a fifth shoe collaboration. Let's take a closer look at the React Element 55. What's going on, guys? You're watching Sneaker News on YouTube, and today we're taking a closer look at the Nike React Element 55 by Kendrick Lamar. Before we show you all the close-up details, just do us a quick favor, please hit that subscribe button and we'll get right to it. So, as we mentioned earlier, this is the fifth overall shoe collaboration between Kendrick and Nike, the first four being the Cortezes, and they were very highly celebrated. They dropped starting from early 2018. Before we go a little deeper into Kendrick and Nike, let's just go over the basics. The official release date for the Kendrick Lamar React Element 55 is indeed November 5th, 2019. They will drop for $150 and they will be available at most retailers. So we do have a store list going for you below. Just make sure you click those links if you need to know exactly when and where to cop. Like we said, fifth shoe collaboration. This is the React Element 55. Quite the far cry from the Cortez. And the Cortez is a running shoe from the 70s. It's a staple in California footwear culture, especially with Compton. The Cortez is basically synonymous with the city of Compton, although the Cortez was worn pretty much in all urban cities. But when you think of Cortez, you do think of Compton. And that's why the first four collaborations made total sense. They, again, intertwined the Damn Tour with the releases. We got a first look at the shoes on Kendrick's feet when he debuted them in early 2018. They dropped them at All-Star Weekend. The first four drops were very, very impressive. We love the way Nike, kind of tied those shoe releases to a culturally relevant event, and Kendrick was at the top of his game at that time. And now they shift from a retro shoe to something that's very modern, the React Element 55. Now, as you guys know, the React series took off in mid-late 2018, mostly because of the undercover collabs with the 87. But the React Element 55 is a shoe that doesn't really get talked about at all, really, in sneaker culture, because it's a quote-unquote GR shoe, and there have been hundreds of colorways, it seems. There's those NFL colorways. It's like the definition of what a GR shoe really is. And honestly, it's a great looking shoe. If you're a fan of the 87 and you don't like the 55, then you need to really look yourself in the mirror, because that makes absolutely no sense. It's essentially the same exact shoe. It's just the materials on the upper are entirely different. So the Cortez and the React Element 55, there doesn't seem to be any sort of connection with them, but they actually have a lot of similarities, because the React Element 55 is affordable and it's comfortable, and that's kind of what the Cortez is. It's the reason why the Cortez was so popular. And $130 for a React Element 55, that's a GR price, is on the more lower end in terms of pricing. Of course, there are much cheaper Nike shoes out there that hit like the Rosses and the discount shops, but $130 for a good looking shoe it's such a pretty good deal. The Cortez and the React Element 55 do have that connection in affordability and in comfort. Definitely a unexpected pairing between Kendrick and Nike, and the React Element 55 is a shoe that could use a little boost in terms of hype. And although we hate using that word, but there's no questioning that Kendrick made the React Element 55 a topic of conversation. No other release has before that, and there's some GRs that do sell out, but in general it's what it is. It's a GR shoe. So now let's just talk about the actual design and construction of the shoe. First and foremost, it's not too different from what's already out there. The upper is this lightweight, breathable mesh material, and that's something consistent in all the React Element 55s that you can find in stores right now, but they clearly added a pattern to it. It's a marble pattern. On the lateral side, you have a white marble with black bleeding into the upper. And on the medial side, they sort of inverted the colors. It's a black marble with white bleeding into it, so it creates this nice two-tone effect. And there's possibly a seam under this ribbon, so they added the seam just to kind of mask that. But overall, the rest of the shoe is pretty consistent with what you see with the React Element 55. That same oversized swoosh is out there, but it's slightly opaque. And that's why in some photos it's really hard to tell that the swoosh is there. But they did add a miniature swoosh, a nice little touch, something that we haven't really seen as well. The tongue as well is the same marble print that's on the lateral side. It's the white with the black bleeding into the back. And on the heel, you have, again, the same exterior heel piece in suede, your white ribbon. The midsole is where they kind of added a little bit more to the design. Clearly there's a speckling all around the gray React sole. On the forefoot and the heel, the riveted traction patterns, you can again see now the black marble pattern. So they went with the white on the tongue, the black on the outsole. There's a white rivet out there. And if you've been paying attention to all the React Element 55 releases, and there was the Sneaker Room collab and all the NFL pairs, this is kind of where they add a little extra detailing, and this oversized rivet that's right here on the heel, but the heel cap is this pure platinum gray, but it does appear like a light blue. The final thing that's actually the most interesting aspect about this collaboration is that there are no actual Kendrick Lamar markings at all on the shoe. There's no damn swoosh, there's no TDE, there's basically nothing about the shoe that says it's a Kendrick Lamar shoe, which is kind of interesting. It makes us wonder if this was supposed to be just some sort of GR inline shoe that they gave him and they made it a collab, or we don't know. But again, on the shoe, there's absolutely nothing that says Kendrick in any sort of way. Maybe there's something hidden that's super like discreet that we can't really tell, but you know, there really isn't anything about the shoe that says it's a Kendrick collab, with the exception of the box label. It just says KL at the end of the shoe name. But in some ways the discreetness sort of works, but you know, for those who are big Kendrick fans, and maybe they wanted something that's a little bit more Kendrick heavy. But we have to say that this is probably the best React Element 55 out there. Drops November 5th, 150 bucks. Hit the links below if you want to see a store list. And that's pretty much it. We want to hear what you have to say, and of course make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching.